she gave session like channeling sessions this afternoon, and you could tape questions.
Hello, hello, hello.
And I asked if the Peru trip would be something good for me.
Right.
And she said, oh, because she always has to listen a long time to the guides. I said, all the guides are laughing and smiling and clapping.
Oh, I love that.
That's sweet.
I love laughing and clapping gods.
They think Peru will have a special gift for you. It will feel a little bit like home, they said.
Peru is pretty amazing. Peru is pretty amazing
Oh,
for
let's see.
sure.
Oh, I don't see. Let me see if I see your face from here. I hate when you have one. Yes. I don't want. You have to
Oh,
perfect
with
to
this
see
with
me
this
like
guy.
this.
Right, 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 right.
Two. I don't want two ashes. I want one ash.
Perfect.
I will come to the other side.
Oh, with this guy. Right. Oh, let's turn off the. Perfect. We got all kinds of.
Ooh, nice temperature in here. Hopefully it doesn't get colder.
It's not gonna get colder.
No, 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 no. I like the way it is. I don't like the noise of the AC. It's very loud in this house. And I think it's very nice right now. That's why I
Lovely.
said I hope it stays.
Are you all warm weather lovers? And do you all love the warm weather?
I,
I love the cold weather.
me too. You love the cold
Yo
weather?
no puedo con el calor, Dios mío. No, 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 no.
I get cranky.
Okay. Especially for sleeping, I like cold.
I don't know. It's like if I'm not too hot, I get cranky.
I do too.
Well,
But when
alrighty,
it's
loves.
cold, I get
We
afraid.
have beloveds that might be at home right now, so we're gonna start. And we can talk about how we feel about cold and hot afterwards. I got you, beloveds. I got you. I got you. So let's just take a moment to notice how present we are. Thank goodness we never have to make ourselves be present or trick ourselves to be present. It's just a matter of noticing, oh, yeah, the body is present. The mind is present, even if that mind is thinking about the past, even if that mind is thinking about a future, the mind is still present. We notice our nervous system is present just as it is, regardless of the weather of our nervous system, the flavor, just noticing how present everything is in this moment. The harmony of every atom in its place, present. The harmony of every appearance in its place, present. Just noticing all that we don't have to do for the fundamental well-being of existence to be as it is right now. Some of us may imagine that it is the ego's job, identity's job, to create peace or silence or space or okayness or well-being. Some imagine that it's not just the ego's job, but other people's ego's job as well. And thankfully, it's just not true. Those are shoes the ego has never once been able to fill. And in satsang, we just take a moment to stop and notice what is. Notice what's here before even the intention for healing, the intention to let go, the intention to integrate, the intention for wholeness, the intention for ease or for freedom or for abundance. This moment, just as it is, not one atom out of place, not one thing out of place, everything effortlessly showing up, being itself, doing its job. Notice how successful the couch is at holding you, how successful the chair is at holding you, how successful technology is at allowing this to be broadcast, how successful breathing is, the oxygen in the atmosphere, how successful this whole planet somehow held in its orbit. What a beautiful planetary gravitational embrace we get to benefit from. This is noticing the generosity of spirit, just as life is. Noticing how our bodies are so perfectly adjusting as they adjust, scratching what they scratch, moving what they move, touching what they touch. This is noticing the intelligence that is, the life force energy that animates, sustains, and allows for the honorable undoing of all things, all appearances. Every appearance equally exalting the space they appear in. Every thought equally exalting awareness. Every sensation equally exalting awareness. Every feeling, every story, description, such pristine confirmation of this unwavering stability of being that you are. Here we notice the wondrous capacity for descriptions, for a sense of self, a sense of an individualized soul print. Such wonderful capacity. A sense of a body, a sense of genetics and culture, a sense of spiritual insights, a sense of not just physical organs, but metaphysical organs like chakras and various layers of the field, a sense of history, a sense of education, levels of consciousness, constellations, a sense of astrology, a sense of human design, a sense of light codes, all the various wondrous, perfectly expressed, and the poetic relevancy of these systems of consciousness. So beautiful. And there is a part of you that has never once actually been described by any of these systems. Still free. You are your name and you're not your name. You are your history and you're not your history. You are your genetic code and you're not your genetic code. You are your sign and your chart and you're not your sign and your chart. You are your spiritual experiences and you're not your spiritual experiences. You are your worldly circumstances and you're not your worldly circumstances. Still free, untamed, wild. The infinity that you are, never actually stuffed or pushed into something called a body. or an idea, or a thought, or a concept, or a constellation. And it's so sweet. Sometimes we overlook that there's still something about us that's absolutely free, unbound, non local awareness, non local consciousness. And so today I thought I wrote down some notes exploring this concept of integrating the infinite. And yes, love.
Before can you just for a moment clarify? Like I understood it best from Kant. You said is that to say that yes, we have circumstances, but we're also the one which doesn't have circumstances.
That's correct.
Oh, then I got
Yeah.
it.
What's wonderful is like when we consider the circumstances that we imagine we have, imagine being a key word, um, it all has to do with the mind, right? With our thought about a second ago. And our thought about this a second ago, I love there's this quote from Gangaji that I really appreciate. And the quote says, the past, which everything is the past. The past is never what we think it was. The future is never going to be what we think it's going to be. The present is not at all actually what we think it is. And that could either drive us crazy or lead us through the threshold of liberation. And it's so sweet.
It's actually a humorous way to express it.
It's
It's
pretty
almost
funny.
so easier to it takes the fear out of it. It's
Yes,
playful.
it's playful. Yeah, it's so playful. The joy of spirit. so so present. So delighted.
Now go back to what you wanted to do. Sorry.
Oh, good, good. But it's really interesting. So these were some of the points, and then I'll speak more on it. But uh, integrating the infinite is the willingness to let boundless awareness fully meet the beautiful mess of being human, the beautiful complexity of being human. Integrating the infinite is the willingness to allow the boundless awareness that we are fully meet the beautiful mess and complexity of being human. Not transcending humanity, but illuminating it from within. It's awareness in traffic, awareness in heartbreak, awareness while overstimulated at Trader Joe's. It's the end of the war between spirit and form. And so some of the points that I wrote are the difference between glimpsing the infinite and integrating the infinite. How many of us have had glimpses of the infinite? Whether in psychedelic ceremonies, whether we're looking at the light dancing on the surface of water, in the face of a newborn baby, at the presence of someone we revere, or a particular teacher or a particular guru. So many just in nature. Some people have a glimpse at Denny's, or it could be anywhere. A glimpse in music, or a sense of losing ourselves to art, losing ourselves to what we're passionate about. And that's also a sense of glimpsing the infinite, this intelligence that is not coming from the mind, but using the mind as a tool, as an instrument of praise, of celebration, of exaltation, of life. And when we're glimpsing it, there's still this sense of a separate self that had an experience of something beyond. And innocently, our life, if we're lucky, our life gets very busy in the devotion to, or the opposite of devotion, the, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? um, the neurosis of trying to get it back, trying to get it back. Anything I can. I'm going to read this book and do this thing, and the control, attempting to recreate an experience, the rush, the substances,
This wanting to search for it.
the search. Yes.
And I think there's always a little bit of a feeling of not being good
Can we
enough.
pass the mic? I don't know who everyone's. Oh, lovely, thank you.
I don't need to be on yet. I think the feeling of not being
Excuse me, Claudia, can you wait 1 second? I just want to honor the beloveds that are at home.
Oh, so they hear.
Yes, they're a part of the conversation too.
What did you say? Go for it.
So I said the search of it. So
The
not
search of it, yeah.
we get into these cycles, and because we've experienced that,
Right.
I like to call it the state of in between,
That's
or
fine.
when the universe cradles us.
Ooh, I love cradle.
Yes, when things happen in synchronicity and things just happen.
Mm.
But we want, sometimes we love that state, and that we want to almost search for that.
Yes. And then if we imagine we found it, we want to pin it down or maintain it, sustain it. So innocent. Yes, love, what were you going to share?
What I experienced in all this was that there is behind it some movie which makes me feel not quite complete or not good enough. And that part wants always the more and the future and
Yes.
all it.
That's
and
the
it's not
part.
quite ready to let it all go, because then I would do my best, so to speak.
I so love that. Yeah.
I don't. But I can.
Well, things are just so free to get locked in to one state. I mean, that we go back and forth. It's just that's the nature of it. And whether you're not good enough or you're got on top of the world, I mean, it's a constant back and forth. That's what I keep going with in antiodromia. It's the opposites just keeping recurring. I mean, it's just that's what keeps things alive.
I get that. And when you say it, I see it perform, like it's a wonderful game in a way. It's a world. But how I can relate right now to that aspect. But there is something going which sucks me back in. What is that? Or you just accept that just as much?
Yeah, I mean, God morphed into this. I mean, whatever, however it works. It didn't just stay beyond. It's in and out. It's back and forth. It's constantly flip-flopping. And that's what you do here.
That's what I love about awareness.
Yeah.
Because awareness can see that in the apparent in and the apparent out, the apparent movement and the apparent shift, the apparent flux, and it's like the sweet dance, the Shakti Shiva phenomena, and still there is the aware stability that has not once moved 1 inch, never been in anything, out anything, where nothing has actually been made into a thing separate from this all outshining stability of being. And that's so sweet that there's such permission for that tango, for that dance, for the yin and the yang, for the Shakti, the Shiva, for the form and the formless, for the opposites. And in my experience, it's all held in a total silent, still, no thingness of being.
Like, I, like I was telling a friend actually yesterday,
Yeah,
the key is, at least for me,
yeah.
is to observe and not absorb,
Observe and not absorb. It's
and
an
not get
option.
lost in that rush of trying to get to point A to point B, and just
Right,
observe that walk, right?
right, right. That's what I love about permission. In permission, we can acknowledge that it's the innocent nature for ego, for the mind, to want to get absorbed, to want to reach, to want to project, to want to categorize, to want to measure, to want to avoid, to want to make up a story, create meaning. It's all so very innocent. And that's what I love about the option of allowing all to be as it is. As we allow, we give permission for that space and that flavor of consciousness. And in that allowing, there's also this sense of the volume of the stability we are being turned up
Expansion.
and expanding, right? It's so amazing. Yeah. And it's an emptiness that's filling. So it's so very sweet. So I'm going to speak a little more on this integrating the infinite stuff, which is so much fun. Um, Many of us, we've touched stillness in meditation, felt the boundaries dissolve in ceremony, had moments where the separate self vanished into vastness, moments where everything shimmered with unity and aliveness, and all those glimpses are sacred. And a glimpse is not the same thing as integration. A glimpse says, oh my God, I am not merely this conditioned character. Integration says, can this realization remain available while my mother totally misunderstands every word that is coming out of my mouth? While my nervous system is activated, while my bank account scares me, while I'm grieving, while I'm deeply human. Because awakening experiences alone do not necessarily dissolve patterns of suffering. You can have a profound non dual realization and still ghost people, still abandon yourself, still manipulate, still bypass grief, still not meet the traumatized inner child, still feel terrified of intimacy, still spiral into shame, still snap at customer service while wearing mala beads and quoting Nisargadatta. Why? Because insight and embodiment are not the same movement. One can awaken beyond the conditioned self while the body mind still carries years, sometimes generations of contraction, vigilance, trauma, and protective strategies. This is where the nervous system enters the conversation. The nervous system is not evidence against awakening. It is part of the dance of embodiment. It's such an ally for a deeper intake of the truth one has realized, the clarity one has realized. I know it was such a gift for me as a 36-year-old being invited to go on a world tour with Menudo again after not doing anything with them for over 20 years and being super excited and getting all my outfits together and just so excited. No thought about any stress about it going wrong, or just like, yay, this is going to be so fun. I've been meditating in the mountains of Boulder for the past 4 years. Let's do something a little different. Let's spice it up. My nervous system, my body, my 16-year-old, 14-year-old self was freaking the fuck out. And the way that it showed up was I'd get these dizzy spells and like this like shortness of breathing. And I was like, what's going on here? Is the body needs some attention? So I take the body to the professionals. Take a look, get some work done, do the whole physical wellness check. And they come back to me like, everything's fine, everything's great. I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, what's going on? Is it a blood sugar thing? And I like ordered like a blood test kit from Amazon to test the blood because I would have these like sense of vertigo and it was so interesting. What's happening with this body? And then one of the doctors said, hey, do you think you might want some anxiety medication? And I was like, what? I had a very naive assumption that anxiety only could happen if you were believing a stressful thought. And so therefore I was like, I'm not believing a stressful thought. How in the world is what do you mean that this body? And that really was a deep integration, education on nervous system awareness and PTSD and anxiety that is not, you can definitely have anxiety about anxiety. You can definitely have unquestioned thoughts about what's being experienced, and those can be questioned and met. But what an opportunity to like fall ever deeper in love with myself as this body, as this nervous system, and also have like the language that I use now about our emotional body being timeless and containing every age of who we are, the 2-year-old, the 7-year-old, the 12-year-old, the 16-year-old. I've never used that language before I had this experience. And it also allowed me to really show up in a more embodied and deeper way with the people that I worked with my clients, in my retreats, that prepared me to be able to actually have an embodied, grounded experience in the ceremony work that I do, the ceremonial work that I do, and working with these plant medicines. Because before that, I had a very innocent, non-dual awareness, living as aware intelligence, but a naivete, a blind spot when it came to anxiety and the body. And I probably was not showing up in the most beneficial way to particular people I was working with because I didn't know. I didn't have that experience. I'd just be like, oh, it's just thoughts. Oh, it's just, let's look at this. I mean, so it was such a gift. And there were some nights I would notice also that I'd be on tour. I decided not to take the medications. When I considered anxiety, I started doing research and reading up on it and reading books. The body holds the score, the tissues hold the issues, all the various things. And and then of course, what I love about our direct experience is that we always have and are given everything we need to deepen. Everything is showing up to serve. Everything is showing up as an ally. Every ailment, every afflictive state, every illness, every dis-ease, every experience, every circumstance in support, everything truly happening for us, not to us, as Byron Katie says. And and there'd be some nights, and then I would notice that there was full willingness for this body to completely be freaked the fuck out, however long it needed to. So there wasn't the sense of, oh, I'm going to meditate this away. Oh, I'm going to non-dual this away. Oh, I'm going to question my thoughts this away. Oh, I'm going to go to a healer and zap it away. There was just sense of total willingness, meeting it as aware intelligence of, oh, this sweet body can be in flight or fight for the rest of its life if it needs to. This sweet body, and I would talk to my body. I'd be like, sweetie, there is no rush here. You are welcome just as you are, frazzled, fried, afraid, freaking out. If you're soft, if you relax, I am here with you. I am devoted to you, sweetie, however you show up. And then there was just an overwhelming sense of this absolute comforting love, this warmth of being, even as the body was like, it was like, oh, you are so held, such permission. And sometimes I'd be on tour and I'd be awake all night just patting my body, you sweetie, you. So there'd be maybe thoughts like, I need to sleep. Is that true? No, I don't need to sleep. Who says? You are free. You do what you need to do, body. You do it, and total freedom, total kindness, total love. It was just so powerful.
It's like your body was going back
Yeah,
to the freeing of itself without you knowing that.
amazing.
You
Right.
know?
It's like the body, it's like at that time when I was in the group, I didn't have the tools or the awareness to be
Yeah.
able to meet the complexity of what I was experiencing.
And hold yourself.
And I wasn't able, yes, and hold myself.
So it was like a 360-degree back
What a
to yourself,
gift.
but in the eyes, and different eyes, different,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like with
Yes.
different set of eyes.
Yeah. That was one of the gifts of this experience was like, wow, like what a gift that I get to go back into the same matrix and meet it from a whole, you know that saying, if I only knew then what I know now. And life gave me a total opportunity to know now what I know now in that experience. Yes. The mic. Mm.
I mean, in all that context, and I jump a little, but still, I would like a magic wand against. I don't have, a problem with I'm available, but when I go in this I'm available, also there's part of me which always feels not active, but like a victim. And I would like to kind of embrace that victim and see if that can be redeemed.
I so love that. Yeah. Do you feel that any sense of victim right now in your body?
Not as much as like about 30 seconds ago, or when when you did your
Yeah.
thinking life, and
Yeah.
the reaction I had in that moment, it's like, oh, but if I do that, yeah, let me see if I can get. I think I often feel still it happens to me, and not I make it happen.
Right. And that's what I love about being able to meet the body and meet the nervous system, because again, that falls into what I thought back in the day of like, oh, only a stressful thought is what causes anxiety. Only a stressful thought is what causes this. And to have that direct experience of the body crying to be met, those energies, it's like those energies being stirred up by life circumstances. It's like, oh, finally, and knocking from the inside as dizziness, as whatever else the symptoms were in my case. And then that's the permission. It's like, is there enough space here to hold this anxiety? And one of the big factors was to hold it not as a strategy to get rid of it, because then that just turns into another way that the ego stays on the throne
Avoid.
and avoids, right, and attempts to replace and then attempts to indulge. And so what the sentence that I would use was, you are welcome here forever. And I would imagine myself. And what's interesting is that I did a lot of this before. When I lived in Peru as a 20-year-old, I met a lot of these energies and would do these exercises. Uh, but then that's the beautiful things. We have this idea that just because we met it, that we've got it over with. Oh, checklist, that's done, never to appear again, never to unfold again. And thank goodness it's not true. Life is way too delicious and way too intimate and way too romance, doesn't allow any sense of time as like a destination and fully alive and raw now. And that's what the plant medicines also help reveal with ayahuasca. It's like, oh, the undulations of this that is with itself now, all inclusive, all inclusive. Yeah, so those energies, so welcome. I would imagine myself as a hotel, like a fierce as luxury as boutique, fabulous as a hotel. And I would invite the anxiety, the sensations. They get to the front desk and it's like, oh, welcome. You have the most amazing suite and you're welcome to stay forever. And here's a black Amex card for you to go and shop and get whatever you think you need. Like I just give those sensations every permission to be here. And yeah, such a sweet option.
Can you help me to invite a guest here?
Yeah,
And
what's
you
the
know,
guest?
what is it? What horses have here? Not to. What's that called?
Blind spots. Blinders.
Yeah, when you say, "Oh, invited to be here forever," it's like, I hope those blinders will eventually melt. I don't want to invite them forever.
Well,
But that's exactly.
Yes.
I'm hearing you, Ash, and it is coming a bit from the body, a protective gesture.
It's a protective
And-
strategy,
and
a
so
mechanism. Mhm.
To invite it and say you can stay forever feels counter on what I'm working at.
It's absolutely, it's counterintuitive. It most certainly is to the body, to the nervous system, to the cellular structure that evolved as a way to evade dying, a survival mechanism. And so then that's what's really sweet. It's like, I love the process of welcoming the willingness. What keeps the blinders in place is the resistance to them being there. When we resist anything, that's a good clue that we're already energetically experiencing it. Anything we resist, already living is that.
My grandpa used to, my abuelito used to tell me, mija, aguanta los golpeazos de Dios.
I love that.
And
Yeah.
it means
Endure the
endure
the cocotazos of Dios, the
the
waves,
bufeta.
the slaps of God.
The
The
hits of
hits.
God. And he would tell me when I was crying or when he'd see me sad, or he would say, mija, esto es parte de tu cuerpo.
That's
Y
part of
eso
your
va a
body.
salir cuando quiera.
And that will leave when it wants.
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing that we get to discover, is that in the permission and the compassion, it's like, what do you imagine the blinders not being there? What do you imagine that would give you or that would reveal if the blinders weren't there? Life and if life was more exciting, what would that give you?
More satisfaction in the moment.
And if you're more satisfied in this moment, what would that reveal?
That I can really relax into nothing beyond that.
That you can relax into nothing beyond that. So you need the blinders to leave in order for you to relax into the nothing beyond that. And is that true?
It's a nice story.
And I hear that it's a nice story. And is that story true?
It's one possibility. It's never true or not true. It's one invention.
In this moment, we're here in this moment.
Okay.
And in this moment, Awareness is asking
Oh,
itself, is that true? That the blinders, the sense of blinders needs to leave in order for you to relax as the nothing vastness that you are.
not totally.
Not totally. Yeah. How do you react when you believe the thought that the blinders need to leave in order for you to relax?
It's on the to-do. It brings it on the to-do list.
It's on the to-do list. How do you see a sense of a blinder moment when you believe that thought? How do you see blinders? Like, how do you judge blinders when you believe the thought that they are an obstacle to relaxing as
I don't see what's outside. I only see my defined universe. And there must be, I sense so much more outside of it.
right? So the blinders are judged as limiting, as
Yeah.
a boundary.
Thresholds.
Yeah. So
That's how
innocent.
far I can
And
go, and that's not yet. Like I do with my 2-year-old granddaughter. Certain realms are open and certain not yet. That's dangerous. So I feel I do
absolutely.
that to myself with the blinders.
So sweet. And for a moment, what is the payoff for the ego to believe the thought that the blinders need to go in order for you to relax as loving vastness? What does an ego get out of believing the thought that there is something that needs to be done?
There's really no gain in it. It's just habit that it thinks it that way.
What is the payoff for habit for the ego? What is the gain for the ego to have a habit?
I can't identify so much with what you call as energy, the ego. That's for me also very fluid. So that makes it hard to. But if I go and try to define it like you say it, then maybe the payoff would be to kind of keep the status quo.
Yes, that's the ego's favorite throne, the status quo, the story as it goes, the continuation, the apparent continuation, the linearity of a someone. It's just innocent. Nothing wrong with it, nothing right with it. It's just the nature of mind. And who would you be in the moment, this moment, without believing the thought that the blinders need to go in order for you to be excited and relax as awareness, as vastness? Who would you be without that thought? How would you feel without believing that thought?
I see where you're going. And yes, of course, much freer. And everything you said, yes, 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 yes.
And
But the enlightenment is not in it yet. The really, when you said we are on 2 levels at the same time, and that one level, the one never was or changes, that was like at my center of the universe, shining ball, like this, but instead of shining out. And I could just slip into that, and there it was very, very still.
and where are the blinders there? Is there enough space in that
And
stillness
there are no
for
blinders.
there
are no blinders. But the
There.
blinders are the ones who tell me it's very hard to get there.
That's of course
Or
what they're
always
gonna say.
mislead me away from it, or do, yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
Sometimes the ego keeps the blinders there, so we don't see the yucky parts that we don't want to see.
That's one of the reasons, yeah.
And then when we go there, like you went there to your
Right.
anxiety and you observe it
Right.
and held yourself,
Yes.
then the blinders came down. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
So for me, this is how I see it. It's like you're driving and there's a one way and you think, oh no, you missed that one way, and then you're cussing and in this stressful, shit. And oh my God, all of this stuff, but all you have to do is just back off and see many one ways. There's many ways, there's many ways to get there, and but it also can be, have you ever been in something and you do it routinely, that the magic is gone, that the prayer is
Habitual
gone?
frameworks, yeah. Living from the mind.
Yeah.
So innocent, yeah. So very innocent. So in this exploration, the invitation is to allow the blinders to be there, to notice that the ego will have its story of the blinders, thought will have its story, a sense of Claudia will have its idea of the blinders, and then to get a little curious about what is awareness is, because you are also awareness. You are not just the wondrous display of a Claudia, you're also boundless aware intelligence, spacious wholeness of being, and to invite the little curiosity, how does the boundless part of me meet a sense of binders, of blinders? I know how the sense of Claudia meets it and has a relationship with it and dances with it and considers it and reflects on it and experiences it. And how does open, aware presence meet a sense of blinders? Because blinders are synonymous with what we call egoic structures. Mm-hmm.
Blinders have an effect, right? Like what you said before, into the body. And I discover that, I don't know if it's anxiety, but it's it's very tense.
So welcome.
Tensity.
Let's welcome it right now. Notice in this moment, just if you drop your consciousness into that space of welcome, what would you say? How would you describe the quality of that sense? Is
From a 1 to 10, 10 being totally and
Yeah.
1 just a tiny little bit, it's a feeling, not even a 1, before 1, but nevertheless, it's a little bit of a feeling of nausea.
of nausea. Okay.
Yes, always a little, not really. Sometimes it's totally gone, and sometimes it's maybe a 1, but there is a little bit a nausea, and in that nausea swims a little bit depression, or I don't know, and it's 0.1, so it's not my
Nice.
dominant trait. But
What a
right now I try
gift.
to integrate what I haven't looked at before.
Yeah. So let's meet that 0.1 and welcome that 0.1 and dive our consciousness into that 0.1 and turn that 0.1, let's be inside of it as if it's a cathedral. And what's the experience in just being there with it and allowing it to totally be itself? Just softening any story of how it got there or why it's there or where it might need to go or not go. And just giving it full permission to be here. There's enough space for it to stretch. What's the experience in allowing that sense, that suchness to be here? Softening any sense of it meaning anything about our enlightenment or awareness or doing something right or not doing something right, and just full permission to be here. And beloveds at home, any sense, any feeling that we've avoided, just in this moment, such permission, enough space. And what's the experience? Claudia, would you like to share what your experience is in allowing?
Well, I can. I can. I didn't feel the need to. I already took a lot of time.
Yeah.
But if you do ask, it was more like I felt very fat, very, very
Yes.
fat. That was interesting. But then the nausea went away, and I was just resting in that very roundness,
Yes.
and you know, it was not really. It turned into not being in that moment an issue.
Exactly.
It was
Yes.
a little bit still here. The very 0.1 nausea,
Takes on a new luster.
but not in the foreground, in the very big background.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not informing. Have you noticed? Sometimes when when it appears to be in the foreground, our actions are informed by that sense. Even if it's one atom, one little, it's informing how what we choose, how we speak, what if we go somewhere or not go somewhere, if we allow conversation or not allow conversation, if we do this or do that. And in the moment that we welcome it, and there's that fullness, I love that you said that round, fat fullness of being, of what is, then that's what's informing our actions. We're not living from that little speck of a sweet dream. That mirage. And we're available. That's why I love the word available. Available. That's how I was able to go on tour and still rehearse and still show up with so much love, even as things were arising and happening, because there was such permission and willingness and welcome. And in that welcome, it wasn't informing, it wasn't controlling how I showed up. I wasn't micromanaging my time or micromanaging how I needed to be or what the sounds needed or what my schedule needed to be. Or it was just like such willingness. And in that willingness, it was just so, it was like, yay, hi moment, hi life. Right, right. So it's such a sweet option. Yeah. And it's totally okay. Also, if I chose, oh, I'm not going to go on tour right now. I'm going to stay home and be with this body here at home and go on little gentle walks and drink some broth, and all of it's welcome. It's just only up to us to see what's true for us in the moment, what's alive for us in the moment. Yeah.
You said something before, I can't remember, but you said the willingness to be in
Willing,
that
or the willingness.
moment, the willingness to be stressed, to the willingness to
Yes.
be
The
in.
discomfort, the willing
Yes.
for the, yeah, it's such a gift we can give ourselves. Again, that's learning to meet our life not just through the lens of our nervous system and our minds, but also as this aware intelligence, this aware loving intelligence. And in that willingness is how we get familiar with, because willingness is not an attribute of an egoic structure. An ego cannot be willing. Willingness is the word used by egos in attempt to invite the the lived aliveness of what that brings. But the willingness itself is a fragrance of our true nature as aware stability. Yeah. I'm willing. I look forward to. And I love how Byron Katie takes it to the next level of I look forward to. So not just willingness. There is a sense of I look forward to discomfort. I look forward to the blinders. I look forward to an ego taking over. I look forward to never noticing awareness again. I look forward to, and in that, you're not thinking about it, you're not tracking it. You are set free. You are a blazing, a trailblazing force of a grace in the matrix, of art in the matrix, of love in the matrix. Yeah, I love it so much. That option that we have, that we all have. Yes.
So in the kind of the quantum physical world or whatever,
Hey, quantum
every
physical world.
every going out, looping and return brings a phase shift, which accumulates in the whole field.
So yummy.
And so yeah, so that's basically how I'm seeing. We're just out here building this phase shift to the next level geometry, so to speak.
So
And
very
so it's
fun.
just, yeah, it's always just kind of, so everything we're doing is just bringing it all into, it's right, yeah,
Integrating.
yeah. Because right now we're stuck
Integrating the
in
infinite.
3D to infinity, or we can't ever get there, can't cross it or can't go beyond it. But that's only the 3D infinity. It's not 4D infinity. I mean, so we can cross these infinities by this phase shift.
Can you do it just by choice?
Well, that's what I mean, it just happens.
That's the thing, right? And I love that you mentioned that because that's the beautiful thing about integrating can sound and can be taken as something that we need to do,
Right.
that we need to master. And again, it happens naturally
Exactly.
in our willingness to open
Yep.
and
We
to
open,
allow.
and we just bring back, we bring forth. I mean, it's the
Yeah.
exchange of going and coming and just it's recursive is what the good, it's going and recursing, going another.
Yeah. And the Satguru of life gives us every opportunity,
Yeah.
everything, every experience, every circumstance is a deeper invitation for this integration to
Right.
take place where we have choice, we can say, and where we have agency is why my other favorite word is vigilance. And vigilance is just, I love how Papaji says vigilance till the last breath. And that's coupled with the willingness to not be held in a box of our own making, in a mythology of our own making. What that looks like is I'm already enlightened. I'm already awake. I already know everything that I need to know. I've already touched the garment of infinity. There's nothing for me to learn. There's nothing for me to integrate. There's nothing for me to embody. There's nothing for me I am the supreme being. And I dictate what everyone else needs to do. I mean, it shows up in so many fascinating, insane ways. But having the vigilance to consider, oh, what is this? It's the princess laying on the mattresses with the pea in the middle of the mattress. And that willingness to, like you said so beautifully, notice that even underneath a one, that 0.1% of something there, that's demonstrating living as this vigilance, as this devotion to our true nature, and the willingness to check again and check again. Oh, and that's why I love the mantra, this too. Oh, like this too. Oh, awareness and spaciousness like this too. Like whatever's happening at Trader Joe's too, like whatever's happening with my mom too, or with my sister too, or with the world too, or with politics too, or with, and that's that dance. That's so beautifully supportive, the ally of life, everything serving, everything placed on the altar of the sacred. Yeah, life as ceremony, life as medicine. Yeah. That's such devotion, and willingness, and vigilance. Yeah. And it's such a love affair. It's just so la dulzura de eso, the ambrosia of that. It's like the life stuff is not an obstacle. It's the delicious inclusion of this that is forever at the feet of itself. It's the sacred with the sacred. Yeah. And let's take a moment. I just got a text from a dear friend. A dear friend named Matt just passed away. So let's take a moment to acknowledge the beautiful spirit and life of Matt. I've had the honor to meet Matt a couple times and to hear some beautiful stories about his past and how he showed up. And in this moment, we just acknowledge his light, his love, his joy, his spirit, his ancestors, his children, the ones that are still here. And a blessing that his spirit, if there's any allegiance to phenomena or descriptions or time, so free, as long as he wants to, in the story of a bardo, as long as he needs, or no story of bardo, no allegiance to the past, pure, undiluted lightness of being in the realization and the laughter, the endless rolling laughter of, oh wow, I had a dream that I was born, and then I had a dream that I died, and it was all just a dream. Life beyond opposites, still here, still present. So blessings, Matt. Thank you, Matt. And blessings to all who knew and loved Matt. Hmm. See what time is it? 8:12. And there's
Can
enough
I
time.
also just
Yeah.
thank somebody?
Yeah.
Because tomorrow I drive to my biannual Dances of Universal Peace Camp in
Oh,
Peonia.
beautiful.
And this time we will do the memorial for Adriana. So I want to bring Adriana here.
Hi, Adriana.
And she was or is the wife of the original dance leader, but there were always two dance leaders. But they went back and forth, leading
Beautiful.
a dance. Whenever it was his turn, he taught us quickly, and then before we entered the ceremony, he always had her come in and do her poetry.
Oh,
And
she
it
was
was
a
very
poet.
like, it could be Rumi, maybe some was Rumi, but it was in that sense. It was very, so before we began a dance, Adriana, I thank you for how deep you made the dances through your invitation, which you landed so powerfully in our midst. So I don't know if I can say it then so elegantly on Friday afternoon when we officially, as a big group, honor you and have a memorial. But so this is my pre-memorial.
I love that.
That your poetry was just so inspiring. And Steiner, my spiritual kind of teacher, yeah, one of my spiritual teachers said that afterwards, when you think of people who died, think of them when you felt like they were in their I amness, they were in that center and came out of that. Think of that. That will enable them right now in the other sphere to be more reminded of that and help them orient in a new land, which is not totally just from suffering to it has its own thing, and we can still support them. He said, when you think of them, when you felt them in their I amness, you give them like a flashlight to illuminate their new land.
That's so
Adriana, ever since you passed, I have your poetry, the CD in my car. Whenever I drive, I hear one of your 36 poems. And so I'm very aware what you meant to me, and I believe to our whole tribe. So big gratitude.
Big gratitude. Adriana sounds like a being who has thousands of flashlights with her right now. So sweet. So very sweet. Thank you for that, love. This is integrating the infinite. This is integrating the infinite. Meeting death, meeting the passing, the transition, with all the spaces, from all the flavors. Our nervous system, our person, their person, and as this presence that hasn't even heard the song of birth and death. Too free, too present. Yeah, so beautiful. Matt, yes.
Because we named them right after you.
Uh-huh.
If they kind of
Having a little dance right now. That's so sweet. It's what a blessing. Okay, let's see. And this. Okay, I'll read this. Sometimes integration looks like drinking water, sleeping enough, telling the truth, feeling your feelings, learning boundaries, apologizing, asking for help, saying I'm hurt, taking a walk, breathing consciously before replying to a text. Very unsexy, very holy. And one of the great temptations on the path is using the absolute to avoid the relative. Well, nobody exists. Well, it's all propaganda. Well, nothing matters. Well, there is no self. Well, it's all an illusion. Meanwhile, their partner is like, okay, but you still haven't processed your rage or done the dishes or vacuumed the floor, beloved. The absolute becomes another hiding place. We see it so much, so innocent. But awareness was never meant to become anesthesia. It's not anesthesia. Awareness is not an escape from life. It is intimacy with life, all inclusive. The sound of rain, the ache in your chest, the nausea in the belly, the trembling before difficult honesty, the sweetness of your dog sleeping beside you, the awkwardness, the laughter, the uncertainty, the taxes, the ecstasy, the heartbreak. The infinite doesn't need to avoid any of it. And eventually, the invitation becomes, can the infinite touch everything? Money, conflict, sex, creativity, politics, family dynamics, your relationship to your body, aging, your relationship to power, your ability to rest, your ability to receive love. Not awareness floating 20 feet above life, but awareness fully saturated as life. And perhaps one of the most beautiful parts of this maturation, this maturity, is becoming less spiritually impressive and more genuinely available. Less interested in appearing awakened, more interested in being honest. Less obsessed with performing transcendence, more willing to sit beside another human in their grief without needing to fix them. Less, look how free I am, more, I'm here with you. I'm right here with you. Because integration is often not an achievement, it's a relaxation, a softening of the compulsive need to become, a willingness to stop resisting what has already always been here. The infinite is not asking anyone to become a super sixth dimensional, sixth density, seventh density superhuman. It's asking, can you love? Can love remain present like this too? Can love be here even as this too? In the fear, in the confusion, in the joy, in the mess, in the supermarket aisle, in the marriage, in the relationships, in the uncertainty about the future, in the tender and unfinished places. And maybe the deepest integration of all is when the infinite no longer becomes something you perform, but something you simply stop resisting. Thank you, loves, for this time together, for this sad song. Such a joy, such a joy, such a joy. Joy, 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 joy. I feel that joy, joy, joy. There's my little happy dance song. Gonna have a good time. There's a party over here. And the DJ's pumping mad flavor for your ears. So come on and enjoy yourself, cause life's a mystery. Yeah. So down, let nature sing, let nature sing. Joy, 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 joy. Joy, 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 joy. So celebrate that joy, feel that joy. This is a light to be this joy. Thank you very much for your joy. Oh, joy, oh, joy, oh, joy. And just to let you know, July 1st, I'm starting an online Integrating the Infinite 12-week experience where we just dive deeper into many of the things that we talked about tonight. And it's a cohort, and there's going to be soul work, homework. You'll have a study buddy. That's something that resonates to be immersed in the experience of that for 12 weeks. It goes to go from July to September. We're meeting every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And that's going to be an online experience. It's going to be via Zoom. So, beloveds that are in Colorado or not in Colorado, in any time zone, um, can come together. And it's only going to be for 16 beloveds to keep it intimate and yummy. And then at the end of it, in November or December, I'm still feeling it out with my schedule. There's going to be an Integrating the Infinite retreat, an in-person experience here in Colorado. Um, so yeah, that's an option. Also, just to let you know, we still have 2 spaces open for Aloha Waska. That's the first week of June, um, in Hawaii. It's an ayahuasca retreat, 6-day ayahuasca retreat on the Big Island of Hawaii. Um, Another thing that there's room for, there's 1 space available for Costa Rica for the event in Costa Rica, the Awakened Heart retreat. That's going to be the end of July. And we have a couple of spaces open for our retreat in our 10-day experience in Peru, in the Sacred Valley of Peru. That one's going to go from August 3rd till August 13th. And please send me a message if any of these resonate, and would love to chat with you and explore the options. Also, there's going to be a concert honoring the music of Nina Simone here in Denver, Colorado, June 27th, which is a Saturday, at Dazzle in Denver at 8:30 p.m. All right, Nina Simone. That's gonna be my friend Felisa, Latin Soul, myself, and a beautiful jazz singer named Christine Barbosa. Okay, I cannot wait. Okay. Alrighty, loves. Thank you for the sad song. I will see you next Monday. I'm here next Monday, which is the 18th. I'm here, yes. All right. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Oi. Yes, I am here next week. I get back from Michigan on Sunday, the 17th. I'll be here on the 18th.
Do you have a clone or a double? How do you do so many things? My goodness, I